That's good.
Yeah. Lunch, caffeine.
6 weeks or so.
Yeah.
Till I can race again.
Hitting that racetrack, going fast.
Mm-hmm.
Like Ricky Bobby says, she just wants to go fast.
Oh, yeah. We'll see how fast I can go.
So we got 12 people on Facebook. How many people we have on YouTube?
I gotta get YouTube open because I forgot that we were doing both.
You have about 9.
9. All right, cool.
It's increasing.
Get those viewers up to start talking to us. We got some questions now. Oh. Eric Holiday, just about to call you back. Nice. Yeah, Eric, I'll have to talk to you a little bit later today. And this afternoon is going to be busy again for me because I'm going to have another car on the dyno right after the show. So we will hook up very, very soon. I was just thinking about projects and going fast. Ken's watching. Who else we got on here?
Mm-hmm. Chris is here.
Chris is here. We know Chris.
Yep. And we're on my page, so
Digitally.
it's gonna be my friends. So there's not gonna be that many that actually show up in there. Well, because they only show up if they're.
Everybody shows up, right?
No, they'll show up here. They won't show up here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
You get what I'm saying?
But their questions show up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Anybody's questions show up. I just don't get notified when like just random people watch. Because why do I care?
Mr. Hartman's watching.
I do care though, actually.
What's up? Hartman, I don't think I've sent you any teaser photos, but they do exist.
We've got photos of secret stuff.
And Chuck joined. Carrie, what were you going to say, Carrie?
I was going to say, you have Jonathan Whitaker over here.
On YouTube?
You have Calandis.
What's up, Calandis? How's that Mustang running, Calandis?
Jansen 5.
He's back in the States for good for right now.
Oh, wow.
No, I'm just asking.
I don't know. Calandis, tell us.
Yep, that's where it is.
Jansen 5 commented on the Gen 1 manifold shootout. He said nitrous ported 18 for the win.
So are you saying you want us to blow up an intake manifold with nitrous on Chucky?
That's what you said you wanted to do.
And then he says 6R80 trans brake. I
don't know. It'll help with reaction time, but it won't really make it any faster. So, on a naturally aspirated car, in my opinion. So, I don't know. We could play with it though. Whatever the people want. But get back to me on that exploding intake manifold idea.
House of Mods is excited. Just ordered his Gen 3 last night.
Oh.
Yay.
Awesome. Good to hear.
What car is that going on? I want to know. I always want to know. Like I'm nosy, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, tell us what your setup is, House of Mods.
Yep.
And then Abdullah has a question, if you're ready for it.
Yeah, we can answer that question.
It says, how accurate math flow rate pound per minute in calculating horsepower on NA Mustangs?
I feel like this has been coming up like a couple weeks in a row. So it's as good as the accuracy of your injector data and your mass air transfer function. And when we're tuning, we pretty much use that stuff for ballpark. Like if we have a previous reference point, then we can see if we flowed more air, or we can see if there's more airflow at a earlier RPM. In the case of superchargers, which always have linear airflow curves, whether positive displacement or centrifugal. Turbos, like Mr. Eric Holiday works on all the time, have a little bit different types of curves because of voodoo magic turbo stuff.
Like exhaust goes in and magic comes out of that,
exactly.
Right? Okay.
So I feel like there was something over on Facebook I needed to talk about. We needed to talk about.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
It's how do you get to be a top fan first? Like Nathan Hilgenbrink has a little star next to his name and it says top fan, and I'm wondering how you get to be that.
Yeah.
But he wants to know when we are going to be coming into Jefferson City, and that is not something that I am concerned with at all because I will be having a baby that week.
Yeah. So
I will let somebody that is better informed.
I do know a little bit about that. The dyno, the VMP mobile dyno jet is leaving on Wednesday, and it'll be rolling into Jefferson City Thursday afternoon. So that is the dealio. there.
A top fan is someone who interacts with the page a lot.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's being one of the most active people on a page.
Oh, Chuck says that you got to ask the best questions. So
Yeah.
everybody step up your question game, I guess. Nathan's got y'all beat. I'm very competitive by nature. Like, how do you be a top fan? Because I want to be a top fan. And Chuck Carter will also be on his way to Jefferson City on that Wednesday and Thursday.
Hey, Chuck, leave us the keys to your 19 Mustang while you're gone.
We'll fix it for you, even if it's not broke.
Eric Holiday, 6:30 sounds perfect. So, oh my gosh, like YouTube is like
I
comments
can't
galore.
even deal with YouTube right now.
Yeah, keep in mind, some of those were already...
They were there, yes. So,
Okay, so we're right here, I think. Christian
Hansen.
From Germany, he's considering either a Gen 2R or a Gen 3 VMP kit. Goal is about 700 horsepower. He's got an 11 GT and is wondering if the Gen 3 with the 92 millimeter pulley is better than a Gen 2R.
So he said 700 horsepower. He didn't say BHP or RWHP. So I'm going to assume that he means something in between.
Depending on which blower, maybe.
Yeah. And like either blower will make 700 horsepower, Gen 3 or Gen 2R.
How easily
yeah.
is the question.
How, you will be 3 to 4 pulley sizes larger on a Gen 3 because it moves more air and it's more efficient. So that being said, I would future-proof it if I could and just go ahead and get the Gen 3 now because you know you're going to want it at some point.
For sure. Definitely. I mean, if you've got the means, the financial means to do it, I would definitely consider the Gen 3 because you are, like Justin said, you're going to want it in the future and it's more efficient, so it's going to benefit you in that way now. So.
Yeah, you just run that 92 millimeter pulley until you want.
Until you want more. So.
Blow up, go fast, and live hard. I guess that's in reference to my Chucky experimental nitrous detonation testing.
Okay, so Columbus is in Abu Dhabi. Oh, you're going to be in Eglin. My sister was stationed at Tyndall until it got destroyed. So, close to there, and she thought she was going to end up at Eglin, but is now in Dover or somewhere.
Big difference.
Yes.
Big difference.
Especially for a Florida girl.
Your sister likes the cold. I don't know about that stuff.
Ooh.
So Jeff's got a question about 17 and 18 F-150-50. One I want to leave in A, and the other I want to install a supercharger. Which one, the 17 or 18, would be better to supercharge? Man, that's a tough question.
That is a tough question, and like, you have a 17 to 18 F-150. I feel like that's pretty cool.
So I have a way to answer that.
Okay.
And it all revolves around durability.
That's what I was thinking too.
The durability of the 18 engine with a blower for like a lot of miles is unproven.
Questionable at best at the moment.
The durability without a blower is questionable.
At best.
But, and I don't want to be down on Mustangs because we love Mustangs, we love Coyotes. Just when something breaks, it's an opportunity to improve something. So I don't know, I'll leave it at that, but I've got like 50,000 miles on my 17 or my 16 with a blower, and it's been good.
It has been.
As long as, I don't launch it stupid hard and make it wheel hop, then it's good. So you can have a very quick, and I feel like a pretty reliable truck. Now the 15 to 17 F-150s are way more durable than the 11 to 14s.
Yeah.
And I think that's a function of the cams being all too small in the 11 to 14s because they don't even make power when they're naturally aspirated. They make like 275 wheel. Like, it's like sad for a Coyote. Larry Duran, oh, you're going to Shelby Fest, aren't you?
He'll see the guys there.
Cool. And I think they might be doing something with his car too.
Cool.
Larry, those throttle bodies are getting really, really, really close. Like, we should actually have some by Shelby Fest. These guys are about in Germany.
Mustang Clinic.
Handcrafted, sleeved Coyote build with a VMP Gen 3. Awesome.
They're going
That's
to
good
start
to
it
hear.
up this weekend.
Like, you so pronounce that better than me. I'm like, Mustang, I'm just going to ignore that weird German word, and it's just clinic with a K.
Yeah, well.
Robert Woodall, thank you.
He said that we make the best superchargers.
Oh, yeah, I gotta. For those of you that are listening on podcast.
Or not, or watching on Facebook, because they're not going to see those comments either.
State the question. House of Mods 210 says, customer service is great, 17 GT, long tubes catless, full Corsa exhaust, currently 440 wheel with E85
Nice.
with your setup. Should work wonders. My other car is a V7 YSI built Cobra. Having 2 SC cars is a dream. Okay, cool.
Very cool.
So that's going to be the Gen 3 that you ordered for your car. Awesome.
Very cool.
Poor boy 313. Justin, on your intake video, why didn't you use a Boss intake on Chucky? Oh! No, like, we could say we forgot, but we actually had this conversation in the car, and there was a reason why. I'll touch on that intake manifold shootout video more in a few minutes. Christian Hansen says, oh, I like when people swap 05 to 09 3-valve cars, 05 to 10 3-valve cars for Coyote, and that's what Christian Hansen's doing.
Oh, cool. That is
He's
cool.
got a 2011 Coyote and an 05 with a Gen 3. So he's got some bugs to work out from the swap, 650 at the wheel, final goal. Cool.
Wait, what happened?
I'm
Sorry,
just
I
trying to
was-
follow along
Yeah,
too.
I was trying to figure out. Oh, okay. So that's the one that they're going to be doing the swap on, I guess?
Okay.
maybe?
2 people talking about the same car. Cool.
I think so. If I'm wrong, correct me. I might not be getting this because I'm trying to do it with some efficiency.
Michael Webb's got a great question, since we're talking about throttle body stuff and blower stuff. At what point does a VMP 67 become a restriction on a Gen 3 supercharger? So we have run them up to like 900, 920 rear wheel horsepower. And if you want a shitload of horsepower and like totally stock like drivability, that's the answer. However, some people want more horsepower. It's like there's 2 facets like to this question.
Yeah.
How far can you go with the 67? How far have we seen it go? And when does it become a restriction?
Right. Tangentially related, on a Gen 2R, not on a Gen 3. My car went 540s.
He like on one of Rebecca's record-setting runs, there's actually a twin 67 on her car. It was kind of funny.
Yep. The weather wasn't even good.
No. So you can start seeing incremental gains from a larger throttle body as early as 700 rear wheel horsepower. However, if you have a 700 rear wheel horsepower car, it's probably more important to have drivability than to make another 5 or 10 rear wheel horsepower above 6 to 7 grand. Because it's all like,
As with everything, balance is key.
yeah, like with inlet restrictions, you can have a 900 rear wheel horsepower car. You might not see that inlet restriction until 5,000 or 6,000 RPM. So everything below that is as good as it's going to get. So it's all about average horsepower under the curve. And bigger throttle bodies definitely make more peak horsepower, but the average horsepower under the curve would really surprise you.
Silver Chuck's just saying hi. He's got a 08 GT500.
Nice.
And
I tuned one of those yesterday, or Tuesday.
I was gonna say I thought it was Tuesday because
Yeah.
I thought I was here.
Yeah, you were here.
Yeah.
Wednesday went by so fast, I forgot about Tuesday. Yeah, one of our longtime customers, Don, came over from the West Coast, and he had a good old VMP Gen 1
Nice.
with a bolt-on pulley. Those originally had press-on pulleys, so that's kind of interesting. And I tuned it, made some good power.
Do we want to switch back to Facebook for
Yeah,
a minute?
let's hit up
See if
Facebook.
it's overwhelming at
Give
this point.
Facebook some love.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, everybody joined.
Okay, that's where we were.
So Jay Hennessy says hi. What's up, man? Clint Castleberry, hey. Chuck's got a comment. If it's not on the burnout pad by the time... Oh, okay. So Chuck would actually like us to have his car on the burnout pad. Interesting.
Okay. We'll do it.
I will practice figure 8 donuts.
I was gonna say maybe I should do the first burnout after I have the baby in his car.
We still got to do like how to do donuts.
Yes.
You have not done donuts before.
I am a very straight line person. Like I'll do some road racing. I'm not a huge fan of autocross. But yeah, well,
sorry everybody.
I don't like the cones.
The cones. Fear of being constrained by cones.
I don't like the cones. I'm not afraid of them. I just like they're not my thing.
Yeah. Matthew Hackett commented, Cletus inspired me to get a custom license plate. It's going on my GT500 with a VMP 700 horsepower club frame. All right, what's his custom license plate?
I guess we're gonna find out.
Have you guys already seen this?
Oh my gosh, I see it over there on Chris's.
Oh my God!
You
You're
get
gonna
that
throw
up
that
for
on
us?
the stream? Somebody tag Cletus.
Yes. Oh, what'd you do? Okay, good.
All right, so we're in the stream right now.
Yeah, we're gonna show it to you guys too, so you can enjoy.
This is awesome. Bald Eagle license plate. And what state is this from? Where you guys have bald eagles on your Washington? Nice.
Where were we? Okay, here. Oh, Dorian's here, and Justin Forrest is here.
What's up, everybody?
It works better when you do it the way that you do it.
It does. It works so much better.
Chris is here. Okay, so Nathan Hilgenbrink says, hypothetical situation, what kind of numbers would I expect with a Gen 2 or Gen 2R on my 08 GT500 that made 577 600 last year? Basic bolt-ons on 93.
So if he made, so he's got a stock M122 supercharger.
Right now.
And very like inefficient 3-lobe non-TVS style Eaton blower. And 577 600 is pretty strong. It sounds like an upper and lower pulley combination on an 08 GT500. So basic bolt-ons. You put a 2.3 liter on there, you're going to be up 100 rear wheel horsepower without even really trying.
That's consistent with what Matthew Hackett is saying right below. So he made 686.
Yeah. Now I will say you're on the upper end of Eaton numbers, so 577. So I don't know if you probably have an upper and lower pulley, so that'll let you spin the 2.3 a little faster.
And he made nice numbers with boosting too. 716 Matt Hackett did.
Oh, this is a good question. Since we are, you know, we deal with all these intake manifold stuff.
Knee deep in manifolds. So.
Chris Collins asking, what is the difference between the new and old Cobra Jet manifold?
Chris Collins, a road racing guy.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, that thing will work good on your 2019 GT. And we've got a throttle body that works on it natively without an adapter box. For everybody else in the room, 1320 Chick did a video on YouTube about our twin jet 69 throttle body. They put it on one of the cars that Lydia was tuning and stuff like that. They were really happy with it, so that's good.
Oh, cool.
So, Chris, I think Ford Racing did a couple things. They changed their name from Ford Racing to Ford Performance, and it was like molded into the plastic, so they got rid of that. And when they did that, I think they made it neck down a little bit more, so it fits the S550s a little bit slightly better. Because I think like the Ford Racing raised logo would rub on the hood. I hear from the people that see a lot of these that the plastic is like changing. It'll be kind of soft, kind of hard. There may also be some seasoning that occurs. But this at the end of the day tells me that Ford is maybe changing suppliers. Because with these low volume parts like this and with the industry in general, you know, like one supplier will be like, well, my labor's really expensive now, so I got to raise your prices. And then that drives, you know, the company that's having that stuff manufactured, in this case Ford, to go to another supplier and, you know, try to negotiate it down. And it may be the same design, but the new supplier may want to make it a little bit differently, use slightly different material. Functional wise, they all seem to be pretty similar. The hardness of the plastic only comes in if you're running like 30 pounds of boost with a turbo. So I have Jordan Wilson says, I have a 5.0 Mustang, and what all will I need to get over 700 horsepower? Horse pressure, I mean.
I live with this.
Every day and night. So I think all jokes aside about horse pressure, I think this is a pretty surmountable problem here.
Yeah.
We can get you 700 horsepower. Definitely supercharge unless you want to spray a big shot of nitrous on it.
Yeah.
And our Gen 2R, like our Stage 1 or Stage 2 kit, will get you 700 crank horsepower. Our Gen 3 kit will get you 700 wheel horsepower very easily. Whenever you're supercharging, any investments you make in exhaust ahead of the catback pay big returns as far as horsepower because you're making the engine flow better. It's actually reducing boost but increasing flow with exhaust mods.
Another top fan.
Another throttle body question from a top fan. Go ahead.
Oh, at what point does the twin 60 millimeter throttle body become a restriction?
So I actually look at this, and we have both types of customers watching. We technically have three types of customers. NA Coyote customers, if they have a Cobra Jet manifold and they're still using the twin 60. Boosted Coyote customers that have like our base Stage 1 kit or a Roush kit, and GT500 customers. And the answer is all slightly different.
Yeah.
Because like airflow is airflow, but the Coyote, the efficiency, the base efficiency of the engine between a Coyote and a GT500 is so different because of compression ratios and head flow and like variable cam magic, that a Coyote around 600 rear horsepower, a GT500 as low as 500 to 550 rear horsepower, and in a Coyote, I'd say with a Cobra Jet, you'll probably see another 5 to 10 with a throttle body upgrade over the twin 60. So twin 60, yeah. NA, it's worth an upgrade. Cobra, boosted Coyote, it's worth an upgrade around 600. You'll see about 15 to 20. And the higher in boost you go, the more of a restriction it becomes. Mm-hmm. Once upon a time, I put one on my car and I gained 42 rear row horsepower, but the car was running like 16 pounds of boost. Above like 10 pounds is when it starts to become a restriction, I would say, to positive displacement blower setup.
Justin Forrest and Chris Cologne are with me.
Oh, they're with you.
Yeah.
You've got some supporters on your cone.
My cone dislike. So
Yeah.
we'll come back to Facebook in a minute.
What up, Big Daddy Trucker?
Where are we?
Oh, I know, so many questions.
Okay, we got that. So I think this is where we were, Larry. Okay.
Larry's, yeah, Michael Webb.
So the German guys are letting people do test drives with different blowers. Maybe we need to look at that as a business plan too.
We've got a fleet of cars at VMP.
You wanna? Which blower do you like? What do you want to drive?
Yeah. 415 is a very narrow road. Please keep it in between the stripes. So we kind of got some questions we just answered already on the other channel.
I think I went too far back, actually. I think we just skipped that one and I got confused. I think this is, Janssen 5 is where we stopped last time. What key data points would you want to log when doing a nitrous kit? Just starting to dial in my wet kit and getting ready to turn it up.
I would say that it's pretty similar. It's going to be the same like data logging configuration as our NA or as our blower tune, because we're always watching spark, air fuel ratio, and all the other associated stuff. Just so you're doing it properly, you want to make sure your bottle pressure's normal, that everything's set up right, and then just go run it through like third gear if you can get traction, and take a data log from 3,000 RPM. Do not spray nitrous below 3,000 RPM. So, it's the other end. you can blow up an intake manifold on nitrous a couple different ways. And you could spray too low and have a backfire, or you could hit the rev limiter and have a backfire.
Don't do either.
Yeah, don't recommend it. So House of Mods said, I went with the VMP69 looking for power and drivability. Interesting. That's something we're going to be like pushing a little bit more here in the future. And Ryan Neville says, I have some broken spider gears in my 2011 GT Auto. What's a good, inexpensive replacement option that'll handle frequent drag strip visits? I have a preference on that. Okay. And it's just going to be to put another stock Ford carrier in it. Mm-hmm. So something about the spider gears. We never experienced this on any of your cars. No. But we had some friends that did. Mm-hmm. I suspect he has a manual. Or the car has a lot of mileage. No, he says he has an auto. Oh, auto. But it's an 11. It could have a lot of miles. Yeah. When the clutches wear out, you get a lot more play in the spider gears, and I think that's when they are more likely to, that play creates a lot of shock loading when they get hit. Yeah. And so if you keep them packed tight with fresh clutches, then... kind of head that off. Yeah. I don't know what we're talking about here. Mine is bolt-on as well. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Asking about Carlisle. Yes, we will be there. Travis Schott had us covered on that. We already talked to, them too. Yes, both. Yeah, okay, yeah, both of us will be at the Carlisle. Yes, and Travis has got us Thanks, Travis. You can handle our travel schedule. That works out for me. If somebody else can just tell me where to go and point me in the right direction. So this is a good general question, and I think it has kind of a general answer, but I think that's a sufficient answer. General Cigar is asking, what rear diff gear ratio do you prefer in relation to horsepower, torque, and speed? And in the Coyote stuff, the stock rear gear ratios, like 315 in the autos, and anytime you add any amount of power to the manuals, like 331, is pretty sufficient. Yep. People really, the transmission gear ratios are pretty good these days, so people only go 373s and 410s if they're chasing numbers of the track with really low horsepower combinations. With the exception of some of the stuff that actually Eric Holliday's doing, with a lot of the limited street cars that they work on. I think that car has more gear ratio in the back because in the race car world, it is a very class limited lower horsepower configuration. So they're really looking to maximize rear gear. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I like a 315 in an auto car. Yeah, it works really good all around. We've tried a lot of different stuff. 273, 355, and most customers end up between a 308 and a 331. Yep. And that's a pretty tight spread at the end of the day. Yep. With a 6R80 car. Travis is saying, with the 18 manifold with tuning power pack, what's the shipping lead time when the porting option is selected? Yes. Oh, you clicked on a video. So Travis, to answer that question about the 18 manifolds, the ported 18 manifolds that VMP sells, we are generally able to ship them out within a day or two. We keep batches in stock. I think we were further up there. So, okay, there we were. There we go. What gear should I be running on a 2015 F-150 5.0? All right, I got an opinion about that too. You have a lot of opinions. I probably have an opinion about everything. Uh-huh. So the F-150 gear ratios, same transmission, 6R80 as a Mustang, but way bigger tire. The tires are a lot bigger. 29 to 31 inches versus 27 to 28 on a Mustang. So my truck, I purposely ordered it with 331 gears, or I found one with 331 gears because I knew it'd be making a lot of horsepower and it'd be doing a lot of highway driving and towing and stuff. So less gears, better for gas mileage. However, the 355 and the 373 trucks, 60 foot a little bit better, because the tire is so big. Mm-hmm. And so I would actually err to a little more gear if I had to buy an F-150 again. As long as it's not an 18 up 10 speed, then I think it doesn't matter because first gear is so insane. Let's see. Late because Jay says he's late because of McFarland fabrication. You know, when I call Cletus, he answers with a different "Hello, this is whoever." You know, every time I call. So, oh, German test drives are different.
I imagine German test drives would be different. I wouldn't mind test driving a car in Germany.
Thank you for the well wishes for the new baby, Big Daddy Trucker. That'll be a big thing here soon. General Cigar has an interesting question.
Will VMP ever manufacture turbo kits?
The answer is not anytime in the immediate future.
Right. We have friends that manufacture turbo kits that we can help you with.
Go talk to JPC
Yep.
if you're interested in a turbo kit, and they can solve your problems.
Yep, absolutely. We'll work with them, help you work with them.
All right, Christian Hansen, he's going to hang out with Mustang Clinic. That's good. So, poor boy. All right, so we owe you some answers on the intake manifold shootout. It was a disappointment with Cobra intake. Would have made a difference with being ported and use the 67 millimeter throttle body with PMAS. So, we actually used a 69 throttle body. So I don't think a smaller one would have helped. And we used that same JLT intake when we did the Cobra Jet on the Gen 2 Coyote intake manifold shootout. So I think that I feel like we were given it the best opportunity and we saw good results before.
Yeah, for
So,
consistency's
yeah.
sake at least.
And as far as the Boss intake goes, we only threw the Cobra Jet in there as the king of intake manifolds. It was really, I really wanted to run the stock versus the 18 Mustang versus the 18 truck and show those numbers, but then have like a, hey, if I could afford an intake way up here, then this is what it'll do. And I expected the Cobra Jet to win, and I don't think it did. It lost, sadly.
It lost.
A lot. So that being said, the Boss intake was not like in the budget realm. Like if you notice, we did not even test ported intake manifolds on Chucky because Chucky's all about budget. Like we paid $9,000 for the car. We find shit laying around the shop to put on it. If it ever gets...
That's not a nice way to talk about my hand-me-downs.
Yeah, Rebecca's old headers, stuff like that. So anyways, now that being said, there is a Boss intake on Chucky right now. We will release the spy photos of that in the next couple days. I do have a spy photo on my phone. It's gonna surprise you. So let's see here. Yep. Spy photo of Chucky with a Boss intake. So anyways, we'll get to that because there's always room for a version 2.0 or a part 2 or whatever.
All right. Reagan Photo Fun. I wanted us to... What?
Somebody sent me a message. Curtis sent me a message. It was a joke about Shaquille O'Neal and free throws.
Okay, anyways.
Sorry.
Reagan Photo Fun wanted 1,000 horsepower out of his 2012 Ford Raptor. Your guy said he couldn't do it. Why not?
6'2", I just don't think has the head flow to support that.
Yeah.
Unless you're Roush Racing and you can afford to put like $50,000 into the engine. Because they had to... Awesome to see you guys.
Yep.
Do you want to slip over to Facebook
Yeah,
for a little
we'll
while?
switch to Facebook for a bit. Let's see what's going on over there. Okay.
Nathan's got a 2.5 upper, stock lower. Those are really good numbers.
Those are nice numbers.
And so I'm going to say like two things. Either the weather was really good or the dyno was a little inflated. So that's what I always like.
Here's the caveat.
Yeah, because that setup should only make like 530 to 560 rear wheel horsepower. So like, don't be mad at me like if a Gen 3 only makes 650 and you say, oh, I gained 50 rear wheel horsepower.
Right.
You know, but you get the idea.
Oh.
Jordan Wilson, it's a 2014, by the way. Let's see what that's in reference to.
Yeah, he's replying to Jordan, so I'm like all sorts of. He's replying to himself.
Okay.
Okay. I think, yeah,
7.
our answer stands.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tim Wilson has a 14 GT also, and looks like he has cat deletes, probably not car deletes. Stock intake, now no other mods to the engine. Best run was 1156 at 117. What intake would be the best on this NA car?
That is strong.
Yeah, that's a really good, yeah, that's really good. I'm like reading it again to make sure I didn't mess up, but yeah, that's really good.
We have a customer, a local customer, with a setup that is similar to Chucky. And his car is like consistently like a tenth or two faster than Chucky. Mm-hmm. Like Chucky's never been like a great dyno queen or track queen, but so that being said, I would say bang for the buck 18 intake manifold. The throttle body wise, there's really not a huge difference in going to a bigger throttle body unless the intake manifold dictates the need for it, like GT350
Right.
intake manifolds. You know, you could spend a bunch of money on like a Cobra Jet setup, but I don't until you like port the heads and do cams, and then most people don't go down that path naturally aspirated because of the cost is so high. You basically bought yourself a supercharger at that point. So yeah, I would say bang for the buck, 18 intake manifold, lockouts. You can use your same cold air, or you can get the 2018 style cold air. It's a little bit bigger. Jamie Hisco's watching.
Oh my goodness. Hey, Sprout.
Melvin Vega, you're happy with your VMP Gen 2 R kit? That's great to hear. You want to read this one, babe? I feel like I'm talking a lot.
It's okay. I have a 2012 5.0 Cobra Jet twin 67 throttle body and PMAS intake. The car idles rough and sometimes just dies when put in neutral. Any idea?
So that's like the PMAS, like all of that stuff is a lot of intake tracked volume for a naturally aspirated engine. Because you figure the PMAS is 120 millimeter mass air and the tube is huge. Mm-hmm. And where I'm going with that is just you're asking for a lot. I know it doesn't sound like it, but some simple stuff like people are liking my hand motions.
I guess that's about it.
I would just try like bumping the idle speed. I mean, it's hard to say without data logging it and see if there's a parameter off that's causing it to stall when it goes in neutral, or if it just needs kind of a head start. At what pulley size would you say E85 is a must? What is the limit of 93 octane? So John Cardone is asking that question. He probably has a Coyote car because that's where that question comes up the most.
Yeah.
And like straight 93 octane, we recommend more octane when you go smaller than a 79 millimeter upper or like smaller than an 85 millimeter upper in the case of a Gen 3. There's other ways to cheat that with boosting, with gasoline-based race fuel. E85 is great though because it makes more horsepower just because of the oxygen in it. So yeah, those are kind of the options. Kind of draw your own conclusions. I don't want to say you have to go E85, but it has a whole lot of benefits.
Can my 2012 Mustang GT 6R80 Gen 2 R kit support an 80 millimeter pulley safely? I'm currently running an 82 millimeter pulley, 65 millimeter twin throttle body, ID 1000s, and a booster pump.
That's pretty well set up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know no
Do
problems
it.
there.
Do it. So this was on our dyno, Nathan's good
Oh, okay.
in Jeff City. I'm
All right.
guessing weather was probably pretty good in Jeff
Yeah.
City, but yeah. So I mean, there shouldn't be. Yeah. shouldn't be any super surprises there.
Nice. Melvin Vega says currently running at 1076 at 131 with a 1.67 60 foot. That's nice.
Nice.
Jamie says hi. Well, I guess we're going back to
YouTube.
We ran out of Facebook questions. Oh my gosh, there's 40 people on YouTube. No wonder there's so many questions. There's 18 on Facebook. All right, so we got to go back up and find out where we left off.
Yeah. Okay, so we were here, I think. Did we talk about?
Oh, we stopped here, yeah.
I think so. Travis said he had us. He was paying good attention to the stream. And he's glad to know that we've got parts in stock and some are already ported.
We try to keep things in stock. It's easier that way for everybody.
Yes, it makes our lives easier and yours too.
Yeah. I mean, like, there's probably, between all the different lines, there's probably 100 superchargers in the building right now. So we got a question here. Which manifold would be best for my 14 Coyote, the 18 manifold or the Cobra Jet manifold? And we kind of just answered that in so many roundabout ways, but this guy wants a direct answer, so we can give it to him. Based on the Chucky video, the 18 manifold, there wasn't nearly the torque loss, and there was even more average horsepower up top. If you had a Gen 2 Coyote or your Gen 1 Coyote was more heavily modified, the Cobra Jet is like the king of intake manifolds. It's done really well on every other test I've done except for frickin' Chucky. So take that for whatever it's worth. The Derek's talking about, oh, okay. So we have one of those coming into the shop soon, probably a MT82 to
6R80 swap?
Yeah, 6R80 swap.
And he's got the 331s in it and wants to know if there would be any benefit switching to 315.
Hold on just a second. Hey, Tuner Joe.
I knew that you guys were going to get to see Justin take a phone call from Joe on the show.
What? What? Oh my gosh. Okay, okay. And, oh man. Oh wow, that's a big increase. Everybody's listened to the phone conversation and they're pretty surprised by it. Wow. Wow. Yeah. Okay, we have all the data from that then, I guess, right? Yeah. If you can do a quick write-up with the data set for it, I'll get it taken care of.
I feel like I need the
and we have
Jeopardy
the other
music.
ones in stock now, too. All right, hey, I gotta get back to the live show, though. They're getting sick of me being on the phone. All right, thanks. Bye. All right, I just got some live dyno results from Tuner Joe. So they were good, 900 rear wheel horsepower. Rebecca, I'll let you continue before I so rudely interrupted. Sorry, everybody.
So I was on Derek's question about having the manual car and switching to a 6R80. It's got 331 gears. Would you see any benefit switching to a 315? I'm gonna guess that you're drag racing the car because I don't know what other situation this would be a relevant question
Yeah,
in.
would require that.
And I don't know what your setup is, but if you're having to shift, like, depending on where you're shifting, yes, it could be beneficial. So I really like a 315 and a 6R80 car, so that's my opinion on that. I think it's a good swap to make.
Right, Riley was just talking about that.
Thing.
Yeah.
I could have read ahead, sorry.
And
I was just so distracted by the phone call.
Yeah. And sometimes, like, that's often the deciding factor is where you go through the traps at your current power level. Like, you don't want to be shifting right before the traps, but you also don't want to be going through the traps at like 6,000 RPM
Right.
out of the power band.
You need to be like, again, everything's a balance. Do you know if the T6060 transmission, TR6060 transmission from different OEMs will fit with little adjustment on a 2011 GT?
So that actually came up on one of the cars that we did a 60/60 swap on. I believe that some of the other transmissions require like a different tail shaft. There's a bunch of like little nuances, so we rely on our transmission people to kind of know what those are, basically. Got another question. Good. You want to do that one, Rebecca?
Going to the drag strip for the first time, running Firestone Indy 500s and wondering what PSI I should run them on. 18 GT Auto. So, I have a lot of opinions on this on a drag radial car. On just a regular street tire car, I think around 25, 26, you're good.
So we got more Travis Schott. He answered the question from Ignacio that we answered earlier.
He's doing everything for us.
Riley, they're talking about that too. Let's see. Jans 50 is going to let us know what it runs. And Poor Boy's got some more questions. Okay, 2011 to 2012 Coyote are different from 20 to 13 to 14. So wouldn't 11, 12 be Gen 1 and 13, 14 be Gen 2 and so on? Well, that brings up a big pet peeve of mine.
This is a pet peeve of yours? This is funny.
I think the Gen Coyote bullshit only came about very recently.
That's really funny because I feel the same way about it. Like, I thought you were going to have a differing opinion about it, but like, drives me insane.
It's only until like we had a bunch of Coyotes out there that people needed to start calling them generationally.
And I feel like we need some different nomenclature because I just don't like the nomenclature.
Yeah. We won't figure that out today, but I can tell a Poor Boy 313 what the difference is. So like 13, 14 supposedly got better rods, and there was some other little, like, they're more durable, but there's like nothing in the 13, 14 engine that makes it produce more horsepower unless it's a Boss. Then it has CNC ported heads and it's got slightly more cam lift and duration, very slightly. So that's why we still refer to like 11 to 14 as a Gen 1. And then Gen 2 got like a lot of the stuff that was in the Boss, like Gen 2 got in the base model GT. And then Gen 3, a lot of what was in the GT 350 engine ended up in the Gen 3 Coyote. So the horsepower keeps going up. Okay. Oh wait, back up here. They're talking about pressure.
Yeah.
You gonna any commentary on that?
Nah, we're good. Travis Schott's like doing a lot of job right now, so we're good. Tyree Canty wants to know what's the fastest you've seen a 2.3 blower go in the quarter mile without nitrous on a 17 Coyote. On a 17? Like, you're getting real specific there. Could we do like 15 up?
Yeah, I mean, I would say 15 to 17 is Gen 2 Coyote. So any results would be
applicable.
Yeah. So it's funny, there's actually a few quick cars.
Mm-hmm.
The most, so like the OG would be Kelly's car that went 890.
Yeah.
And that was a Gen 2, not an R model. Like, gosh, what we know now versus what we knew back then, so different.
Yep.
And then in more recent history, Oscar Morin and Ariel used to have a 2.3 liter blower on it, and they went, I think, 870s without nitrous.
I think so. I think that's a good.
Somewhere in the 8s. That's a Turbo 400 car versus Kelly's is a 6R80 car. Mm-hmm. Kind of different situations done for different reasons. Travis is making some more conversation. Man, he's all over this live feed. Mm-hmm. Poor Boy says, I enjoy your videos. I learn a lot. Thank you for the info. Have a good weekend coming up. Thank you very much, Poor Boy.
You too. More Travis and I'm talking about.
Okay, cool. So we'll go back and check Facebook.
Check it out.
All right, go take care of the Facebook people.
Oh, okay. Okay, so Chris Cologne, I never know how to say your name correctly. I try though. Are the injectors and fuel system in my 19 GT sufficient to run a Cobra jet with E85 and of course the new VMP twin throttle body?
The answer is yes. Dual fuel gets us a lot of fuel system overhead. Joe was actually telling me that the ProCharger kit for the 18 F-150 uses stock injectors. And that's a lot lower RPM situation, so it'll handle it. But on a Mustang, you most definitely want bigger injectors for a power outer, even with dual fuel.
Any more progress on your GT500, Justin?
Yes, we're going to be doing some content on that real soon. I know we keep saying that, but we're going to get it shot and get it done.
And Corey Griggs wants to know, can my 2000 Saline Series 1 supercharger run E85 with my stock injectors and stock pump for tune for you?
So Corey, that we would want to get that car on the dyno just to make sure that the stock pump and the stock injectors are like still putting out what they need to, because there's a lot of age and potentially wear.
Gosh, a car built in 2000 is 19 years old.
Yeah, it's kind of
You
crazy.
can buy cigarettes.
Gosh. Let's see, Josh Penzin. I have a Gen 2R 2014 with cams made 722 on E85. To make 850 safely, what do you recommend doing internal, or buy a newer 2015 short block and transfer cams? Josh, that comes up all the time on Tuning Tuesday. I would build the bottom end, the 15 short block stronger, but by that argument, your 2014 probably has better rods too. You might just lean on your 2014 until it doesn't do it anymore. And, I mean, you just need to go down to like a 69 pulley and E85, and you probably make 850 with a good sized throttle body. We've got some new throttle bodies coming out that would be good for you if you're going for a number on that setup.
And I think that answers his secondary question.
Michael Stabrowski, what's going on, man? Glad you joined.
Hey, Mike. And Clint Castleberry's here, 11 F-150 5 liter. How many RPM are you comfortable turning that motor all stock?
I would say that depending on the intake manifold you're running, we could go up to 65, 7, maybe even 72. The stock intake manifold's done at like 6, so you don't really want to go much higher, but if you swapped to something else, you could go a little higher. I don't really see RPM hurt Coyotes. Chucky gets revved to 8 grand and it's totally stock. So supposedly the F-150 engine has a cast crank that is not forged, and the balance may be oriented for low RPM a little bit more, but like I can't say that's going to make a big difference on a 300 rear wheel horsepower vehicle.
Aw, vote of confidence for me.
Oh, nice.
Being able to read.
Nice.
Chris Cologne says that I pronounced his last name correctly, so proud of myself. Quick question, do you guys do live tunes with other tuners? Oh.
I don't know exactly what that is.
I think that he's talking about like having the car on our dyno. This is the way that I'm reading into this, having the car on our dyno and having the tuner do it remotely, or maybe the opposite way. The answer is yes to either one. So you know,
whatever you want to do.
We're accommodating people.
Travis says if he can give a good enough answer. Oh, you're doing fine, Travis.
Yep. We appreciate the help.
John's got a question. Hey guys, on Project Chucky, when using the lower control arm relocation bracket, what hole should you put the brackets in? Middle or the lower hole? It's daily driven. Well, we could talk a lot about that.
We could talk a whole lot
It's
about
technically dependent on ride height and power level and what you're doing to make power, but if you just put it in the middle hole, you're good. That's a good middle of the road deal.
Start there at least.
No, Coyote Kelly barely made it to the show. I mean, I think it's worth putting a Cobra Jet on your 18 if you want to make more power. It's expensive though, but you can always sell the stuff later on.
Well, it's Travis and Jed's still talking about the truck.
Okay, cool. Well,
Jed's really excited. I'm excited for him.
Carter, come say hi.
Yep.
Our son Carter always likes to be on the live show, and he's done a special hat hairstyle for us.
Yeah. He was sweaty because he was driving. He does his driving practice.
The Kubota ran out of battery, so I parked it in the sun because it's got a solar panel on it though.
Oh yes, yes it does.
So do you want to say goodbye?
What should I say?
Whatever you want to say, bud.
Like, subscribe, and share.
Bye. Thank you. Like, subscribe, and share.
All right. See everybody.
You heard the man.
We will see you later. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share.
Uh-huh.
Bye-bye.